Good morning, everybody, and welcome to semi-final 6 and also our second semi-final for today. My name is Nick Dyson. I'm CEO and founder of Future Anything, and for me, these finals are just like Christmas. There's a present every 3 minutes. So to kick us off, I would love to show you a map that might be a little bit familiar to you, and I'd love you to just take a second and reflect on maybe how old you were or where you were when you first saw this map. For a lot of young people who grow up in Australia, it kind of happens in prep or year one, and you often have to match the capital cities to the states. I'd love to show you a second map. For me, I would have been in my late 20s before I saw this map for the first time. So it was a good 2.5 decades after seeing the first map. And so to kick us off today, I just want to take some time to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land in which we live, work, play, learn, and create. And, for me in Meanjin in Brisbane, that's Yagara and Turrbal land. And just acknowledge that our First Nations people are our first entrepreneurs and our first innovators. And here at Future Anything, we believe that the best ideas honour the past and the richness of experience in order to recreate something really purposeful moving forward. So it's not throwing out the old to bring in the new, but it's actually honouring and respecting the old in order to reimagine the future that's most powerful. And from wherever you are, we would love to see you on socials. So please take a selfie or in a watch party at a school. Teachers grab a photo and please share across socials, obviously Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're also on LinkedIn, we would love to see you also sharing across that platform as well. Now, our semi-finals are the culmination of our Activate program that has seen about 5,500 young people across 65 plus schools around the country this year. And over the course of a term or a semester, young people tackle a version of this mission, which is to take on the role of entrepreneur and pitch an innovative idea that makes the world a better place. And from 270 plus applications for finals this year, we have our top 40 teams pitching in our semi-finals for spots in our national grand final, which will be held in November. And at our national grand final, we have 8 teams take the stage to pitch their ideas to a panel of judges for the chance to secure $20,000 or more in prizes and funding for their idea. And so, let's meet a few of our previous winners. In 2018, we had Tanika from Springfield Central State High School take home the win with her innovative idea, shielded socks. These socks looked like school socks above the surface of the shoe, but she partnered with this amazing artist called Mulga to design these patterns that went underneath the shoe line. The metaphor behind her socks is you don't know what's underneath the surface for young people. Then we go to 2019 and Springfield Central went back to back, which has never happened before, and took it out with Culture Hood. 3 young Polynesians who stumbled across a statistic that said that Polynesians were more likely to see or experience domestic violence than many other communities. And so struck by this, whether they took their Polynesian-inspired art designs and printed them down the sleeves of hoodies, with a portion of the profits from each sale going to support victims of domestic violence. And then we go to 2020, where 3 students on the Sunshine Coast took home a win with an alternative to shark nets. They use the technology that exists in wristbands that surfers wear to repel sharks from coming near them and retrofitted this tech on flotation devices that they dropped at interval across the coastline to invent an invisible barrier that they called an aqua shield. Then we go to 2021 and Redcliffe State High School took home the win with Chloe Alley and her business by Chloe. From 11, Chloe has been making wheat bags, and for every wheat bag she sells, she plants a tree through One Tree Planted. Chloe is also working with Moreton Bay Council to have a youngpreneur market at the end of November or the beginning of December. So if you're a young person who would love to sell your wares at Chloe's market, please get in touch because we would love to connect you so that you can get involved in this incredible initiative that she's leading in her region. And then we go to last year, where we went to the Gold Coast and Marymount College took home the win with EcoBed. And Jai and Philip experienced a situation where their dogs just kept chewing every single dog bed they were given. So they researched a sustainable, indestructible material called Kevlar, which is used in bulletproof vests, and used this material to create a new line of dog beds, walking away with almost $20,000 in prizes and funding for their idea. And so it becomes today, we've got 5 teams in this semi-final. Will this year's winner be pitching in the next 55 minutes? Who knows? How will today work? Let's kind of run through the agenda. I'm going to talk for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to introduce our judges. We will have 5 pitches from 5 schools before we have the people's vote and the verdict at the end. The structure for the pitches, each team has 3 minutes to pitch. With 30 seconds to go, they'll hear this noise. And then at the 3-minute mark, they will hear this noise. At which time their time is done. We'll bring the judges back on screen and they have 4 minutes to ask questions of the teams. And then at the end, our judges will go and deliberate and they will return with a winner. And the winner of this year's semi-final goes straight through to our grand final as a pitching team. And the runner-up from this semi-final goes through to the grand final as a showcase team. But the responsibility is not just on our judges, because when our judges go to the deliberation room to choose their teams, we will open the people's vote. And so if you're watching today, you will get access to a special code that will enable you to vote for your favorite. And the team that amasses the most votes will actually go in with a wildcard chance as a showcase team for our grand final. So if you need to quickly text your mum or your nana or your auntie or somebody special to make sure they're watching to be able to vote at the end, please do so, because some of the voting has been incredibly close. So every vote counts when it comes to that place. Now, enough from me. Let's bring our judges on screen. We have Chris and Sandy and Lee. Welcome to semi-final 6 and our second for the day. We're so thrilled to have you here. Lee, I might kick off with you. What are you looking for today? You know, what's really going to grab your attention from these, from these pictures?
For me, I'm really interested in a really concise understanding of what is the change these projects want to see in the world, and most importantly, how is it that your projects are going to contribute to that change? Can you actually see that through line?
Ooh, unsurprising, that impact measurement, such a big thing for you. Who would have thought? Lee's also a branding extraordinaire, so I know he's also going to have a sneaky eye for the branding that sits behind the ideas too. Chris, what are you looking for? I know you've seen innovation, particularly through education in your time. What's going to capture your attention?
Yeah, Nick, for me, our troubled world really needs some micro-agents for change. I often hear people say, what difference can I make? And we all can make a massive difference if we collaborate and work together. So I'm really curious to see what that difference from the team could be. And again, what that impact could be as well.
Yeah, awesome. And Sandy, I know that people might be fooled into thinking that you're the gentle judge, but I know that there's some fierceness sitting behind that pleasant veneer. What are you going to be looking for in today's pitch?
Oh, Nick, what is it that excites me to go and make me curious, like Chris said? What is it that excites me to go, what's the next stage? What will it look like? How successful will you be? Where it will go? So that's where I sort of tap in and go, what about tomorrow? Where will it be? And I'll know about that. So that's what I'm looking for, something that, because out of curiosity does come opportunity.
So that's very true. It sounds like we're all looking for something a little zesty, just like a little zest in the idea. Should we crack in? Should we just bring our first team up and roll on in? All right, well, we're heading to the Sunshine Coast. We're going to Mountain Creek State High School. It's their first year in the program and they've got a team through to finals, which is very extraordinary. So we've got Lego Man City joining us. Cool. Team, how are we?
Yeah, thanks.
Flood Direct, not Lego Man City. That's okay. Ready when you are, gentlemen. You've got 3 minutes on the clock.
Hi, we're Flood Direct. I'm Lon, this is Cooper, and this is Ryder. We're here today to show you our innovative idea, the Flood Direct. Next slide. Flooding is a problem many countries face. It affects millions of people and causes billions of dollars in damage each year. This only happens because communities can't deploy flood barriers fast enough. With our product, we can save lives and save you money before floods happen. Next slide.
The Flood Direct is the ultimate protector against flooding. With easy transportation and deployment, it's a must-have for those who live in flood-prone areas. The Flood Direct has an innovative design that detects rising water levels and inflates using the built-in air compressor on the back. Once the flood direct has been inflated and the flood reaches it, the water will enter the base of the product through duckbill valves to act as a weight and serve as a barrier against the rest of the flood.
Due to the strong material that the flood direct will be made of, it is well suited to any area that needs protection, including residential areas, industrial sites, and commercial buildings. Multiple flood directs would be used in a row and joined together using connectors to protect houses, vehicles, and other property. Unlike sandbags or other common flood protection products, flood direct can deflate very quickly once the floods have passed, and being lightweight allows it to be redeployed downstream as needed. Next slide.
Flood Direct has competitors such as Water Inflated Property Protector, Watergate, and Aussie Flood Tubes. These three products are similar as they all inflate to protect against floods. However, our product is more advanced because it inflates to a larger height and uses compressed air until water is flowing in, which will cause it to inflate even more. Due to it inflating to a larger height and inflating automatically at a faster speed, it's a quick reacting flood barrier and is more efficient at stopping floods compared to the other products on the market. Next slide.
We will work with the local council to identify flood zones, and together we will deploy Flood Direct to protect these flood-prone areas. Another avenue is to pitch our product to insurance companies so they can encourage their customers to use it. Additionally, we will make Flood Direct available to the general public who are vulnerable to floods. Some other marketing techniques that will be used are social media ads and presenting at trade shows. Next slide.
The flood direct is made from high-strength PVC fabric because it has a high level of water resistance and is lightweight. The flood direct uses duckbill valves to take in water, with each unit having 5 valves. Each valve will be 300 millimeters. In the future, we will distribute the flood direct worldwide, focusing on places that are more flood prone. To create one product, we have estimated that it will cost $450, including labor and materials. Next slide.
Overall, the Flood Direct is a reliable, effective solution with easy use and transport. It is the top choice for those in need of flood protection. Thank you for considering our solution to prevent the devastating effects of flooding.
Well done, team. Nailed it from a timing point of view. That was super slick. Let's welcome our judges back on screen. And Sandy, when you join us, excellent. Sandy, we're going to start with you. Have you got any curly questions?
Yes. How difficult, that was terrific, but how difficult is it to put it in place? And is it safe to stay there till the next flood?
Yes. We were thinking that we would put it just like the frame kind of, and then we could put sandbags or other weights in it to weigh it down so that it doesn't just float away when the flood comes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Chris?
Good job, guys. I'm just interested to know, have you done any extensive testing of this at all? Have you actually built and tested this anywhere?
No, we haven't. We printed like these little models though.
Do you want to bring that close to the camera so that the judges can see them a little bit closer? It might help with their visuals. Good leaning. And maybe just tilt it so that, yeah, cool. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Lee?
I guess my question, first of all, a fantastic presentation, really, really well presented. I guess my question is an extension of Chris's around what are the next steps for the product, and I guess particularly around that sort of piloting, testing, trialing this at scale. What might be the next steps for yourselves?
So we're gonna probably change the design a little so that it works better. And then we're gonna tweak how it works as well. Since there's some stuff that we're still not really sure about. And we're gonna distribute by talking with like the council and gradually expanding as it gets more popular.
Awesome. Great identification of partners there too, team. That was excellent. Well, guess what? Because you've gone first, you actually get to just chill out and be a casual observer for the rest. Like there's a little bit of pressure in going first, but it also means that you can just relax now, which is awesome. So we're zipping down to South Australia to Cardine College, and we've got Cognoshield Sportswear joining us. Fletcher and Jack. We'll play some elevator music. Here we go.
Hello.
Team, how are we feeling?
We're great. We're great.
Excellent. Are you feeling ready? Are you feeling pumped?
Yeah, heaps
Yeah.
keen.
Heaps keen. Yeah, me too. So you got 3 minutes on the clock. We're ready when you are.
All right. Hi, I'm Fletcher and this is Jack, and we are Cognition. Next slide. Concussions across the years have shown great prevalence in the evolution of sports and can recently be seen in the AFL's changed perspectives on the injuries. Despite protective gear such as mouthguards and helmets, millions of injuries still occur. Imagine a world where athletes and sportspersons can pursue their passions without sacrificing their long-term well-being due to these head injuries. With our commitment, we can reshape the scene of sports and protect the people involved. Next slide.
To combat this issue, we at CogniShield have developed concussion-detecting mouthguards and headgear. In our protective gear, wireless jolt sensing alerts the user through rapid beeping when a jolt that may cause a concussion occurs and sends the message straight to your phone via Bluetooth. Next slide. The prevalence of concussions is high, as over 1 in 4 people have had one or more in their life. 65.4% of people reported that they were engaged in a sports activity at the time of their injury. Studies have found that a total of 3 million sports-related concussions happen each year, and 50% of concussions go unreported throughout contact sports. Not enough is being done about this issue, and that is why our company, CogniShield, are making an impact. Next slide. At CogniShield, we understand that every athlete is unique. Our mouthguards are customizable to fit each athlete's dental structure comfortably, ensuring consistent protection and wearability. Unlike others, CogniShield provides insight into the data of athletes during their performance. A unique design allows GPS tracking of players to collect data and be sent straight to their phones. Compared to our competitors such as HitIQ selling their product protective gear for $200 plus, CogniShield is affordable in not only protecting our users but also teaching our users the game tracking data at only $120 for a mouthguard and $150 for headgear. Next slide. Our product started as just an idea, but with research and our contact with potential partners, we have formed a vision. We reached out to industry giants like HitIQ and Tezuda for invaluable feedback. We wanted to optimize our brand from the very beginning. The time has come for us to finalize our vision. We're gearing up to present a groundbreaking product to the world. Our pitch isn't just about showcasing a solution, it's about securing the support we need to accelerate our brand's growth. And when we say accelerate, we mean we're planning to monetize our brand by using the prize money we secure to bring our innovative products to life. Gear up and go beyond. Elevate your game with Cognition Sportswear. Thanks for listening.
Excellent work, team. Time to spare. Did it easy. Really great pitch. And I know that this is an issue that's super topical in sport at the moment as well. So great job identifying a really critical challenge. I'm going to throw to you first, Chris. Any questions for the team?
Absolutely. So I'm a sportsman of old, and I've had my head banged a few times. But my sport is soccer, and some of these things don't really get actually used in that sport. They certainly are used in things like footy and rugby. So how would you spread the message to people like me?
Yeah, we were thinking of having educating campaigns as well and expanding our product to be a small attachment that can attach to pieces of clothing or maybe a headband that would still do the same thing as mouthguards and headgear.
Great job. Thanks, team. Lee.
Thanks so much for a great presentation. I'd be really curious to know what's the main thing you need right now, whether that's a skill set or a person or a resource or whatever it is. What's the main thing that you need right now to take this to the next step?
Yeah, so we're going to need professionals to help us with the programming and everything with the apps and the device. And we're also going to need a manufacturing company because we can't make this on our own.
Great, thank you very much.
Sandy.
Great idea. 2 questions. Would I need to get a new one every year as I grow? If I started using it when I was young, do I have to get a new one every year? Is there a cost?
Well, yeah, you would, because as you're growing up, your dental structure is going to change, so you're going to need to get new ones. But that wouldn't be the mouth guard with everything else. It should last a good while.
Okay. And my second question is, with the one that you're talking about, have you actually trialed it?
No, we haven't been able to at the moment, but we're planning to use acceleration and gyroscopic technologies that would track the rate.
Great. Good answer. Good answer. Yep.
See, I told you to watch out for Sandy, like sneaking in the 2 questions. Like you've just got to be careful of the smiley ones, right? Like they just fly in under the radar. So well answered, team. Some really tough questions from the judges there. Excellent pitch. We're going to head to Victoria now, to Kingswood College, and we've actually got Lumina Dex joining us. And so Harry, Joseph, and Oscar. Oh, hey team, how are we?
Hello.
How are we feeling?
Excited to show our product to you.
Yeah.
We're super excited. I'm loving the branded shirts. Super slick, team. Looking great. So we're ready when you are. Off you go.
Renewable energy faces technological limitations like rusting wind turbine blades and solar panels' 15% efficiency drop over 25 years from a mass landfill. Next slide. Experts also observe the common overrating influenced by media and energy companies through low cost and supposed perfect solutions to global warming. Next slide. As we rapidly transform towards renewable energy, Lumina Dex believes that people cannot combat climate change without the true facts or efficient technology. Next slide.
Thus, we have designed Solar TCG, a renewable energy trading card game leveraging the genre's popularity. Next slide. The unique cards to buy, collect, and trade, we aim to captivate Australians to construct an ultimate deck for jewels. Our prototype showcases cards with gamified and whimsical character designs, such as Happy Solar Panel and Tempered Glass. Enjoyable to collect and pivotal to outproduce your opponent in energy and win. Next slide.
Solar TCG helps combat climate change by first immersing people in a sustainable energy game, naturally acknowledging its viability. Next slide. Secondly, the Solodex Collector's Book links the gamified characters to real-world uses, advantages, and limitations. Next slide. This refines renewable energy perceptions, enabling Australians to make informed climate change decisions. Next slide. Lastly, we've partnered with the Australian National University School of Engineering, which is accepting 20% of our profits, helping innovation and advancement of sustainable technology in addition to educating. Next slide.
Unlike other educational games that may become dull from overemphasis on education, Solar TCG separates the game from the learning. Cards and amusing designs excite young collectors while the game's strategy engages adults. This feel is distinct from the renewable energy education in the Solar decks, which enthusiasts will eagerly explore after playing the game. Next slide.
In our roadmap, we first seek $5,000 for 10% company equity to commission professional arts for 64 characters at $50 each, inspired by our fictional and gaming understanding. Next slide. With the solid rule set ready, we'll then freely initiate a Kickstarter campaign where projects can get crowdfunding. We aim for Australian customers to pre-purchase a $6 random 10-pack of cards or a $60 deluxe pack with 4 card packs and the Solar decks, targeting $3,000 in 60 days. Next slide. This will enable card production with make-playing cards, like our prototype, creating quality and eco-friendly cards for below $2 per 10 cards.
With cost-effective cellophane bags, shipping under $11, a minimum 3-pack purchase, and Kickstarter's 5% cut, we project a $6 minimum profit per person. We aim to ship within 3 months post-campaign, engaging, entertaining, and educating like our vision. Next slide. 20% of profits will be donated, and the rest reinvested in Solar TCG for new cards and characters, our own website, international marketing, or expansion packs to grow the franchise. A video game is also viable, increasing donations, exposing limitations, and fostering informed decisions on climate change for a greener future. Next slide. Thank you for following the decks.
Excellent work, team. Very efficient on the time. You've obviously rehearsed in order to get that really slick. Love a Kickstarter reference with Exploding Kittens making almost 9 million. There's certainly some precedent to some humble games turning some cash through crowdfunding. Lee, I'll throw to you first. Any questions for the team?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks so much for a great presentation. I love that you had such a clear and specific ask as part of your presentation. For me, I would love to know a little bit more about, with the DEX, a portion of that money will go back in towards renewable projects. The main part of it, though, seems to be about that shifting awareness amongst players and consumers of the product itself. For me, I'd be curious around, often, when we talk about behavior change, awareness comes first, but often that awareness then is, I guess, as a primer for people to take action. And I'm just curious in terms of, as people play the game and become more aware of these topics, is there specific behaviors or specific things you'd like the players themselves to be actioning as opposed to just the money?
So firstly, with extra knowledge about the topic, they'll know which products to buy. For instance, if there is a company that is specifically focusing just on the low cost, and propose perfect solutions to climate change, people might realize that might be a sketchy company through this specific incentivization. And whereas they will understand which companies are better or more reliable in terms of a long-term greener future for everyone, so they understand which products they can buy, and hopefully we go towards a greener future.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks, team. Sandy, over to you.
Yes, thank you. That was great. I think the shirts made you go nice and slick. It was good. A question: how would I get access to the game?
To the game. So, firstly, our first batch of cards will be, as we said, on Kickstarter. You can pre-purchase the game for a certain price, and you'll be able to pick as many cards as you want, as many card packs as you want, and the Solidex itself for the educational purposes. After this, as we can expand, we want to make our own online store, so we can have more targeted advertising and that stuff, so you can order on there. And if we get really big, we can start seeing going into retail stores. This is more publicity and more people walking through it and seeing our products. So yeah, our idea is pretty broad to where you can see it and buy it.
Okay. Might you do it? Let me ask one. Would you do it through schools, maybe?
Sneaky.
Through schools, possibly. That's always an option. As it's a very versatile.
Thank you.
Chris,
You beat
over
me
to
to it,
you.
Sandy. You beat me to it, Sandy. I work with games in education, and so I was going there for the. Is this something that you would target at schools in curriculum based, and therefore the transference from your game to real life is really important to me, and how you might convey that.
Yeah. So as we've mentioned, the Solidex. That's where we're going through that gamified characters to the educational. So on our Solidex, we might be talking about the uses of a certain card. For instance, our card Happy Soul Panel, if you want to hold the Solidex up towards the camera. We've got Happy Soul Panel, and we've got our advantages, and then our disadvantages. So the disadvantage part really exposes those limitations of renewable energy itself, which, although is not directly related to the game, we hope that enthusiasts of the game and collectors, because we're intending to have like plastic pockets in our collector's book, so people can really engage with the Solidex and therefore read it.
Is there anything else in that prototype you want to show, team, like closer to the camera, just so that the judges can get a view?
It's an early design, so we just put some filler text.
We put some really filler text, but we do have one extra page. If you would like to see this one, which is just one about tempered glass.
Cool, great. Thanks, team. Excellent work. Very great flick pitch with some awesome shirts. All right, we're heading back up to Queensland for pitch number 4. So we're heading to the Queensland Academy's Health Sciences first year in the program and a finalist in for finals, which is very impressive. So we've got Repair coming to us. And so Alfie, Arian and Luri, how are we?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Did I get the pronunciation right? Please correct me if I didn't. Oh,
yeah, that's
excellent. All right, well, legends, we are so pumped to hear your pitch. So we're ready when you are.
Could I get you to start on slide 7? Sorry. Right. Hi, I'm Alfie, this is Luri, this is Arian, and we're Repair. The problem that we have identified is the unsustainability of rare earth elements. Do you own an electronic device? Well, that device is contributing towards one of the most destructive global issues in today's society. Rare earth elements, or REEs, are found in the Earth's crust at very low concentrations. The mining methods used to extract them are not sustainable as they can release toxic waste and radiation. These all have detrimental impacts on both environment and humans.
Next slide.
Our solution to the problem of the unsustainability of rare earth elements is to create a laptop that utilizes 90% plus recycled rare earth elements. To create our device, we will utilize components that are not being used and will eventually end up as waste to create a new laptop. The e-waste being used in the production of the repair laptop will be primarily sourced from China, which is the largest producer of e-waste globally. Next slide. The target demographic that we would like to reach through our operations are Australians students in the age group of 13 to 25-year-olds who are financially underprivileged students in need of a laptop. This means that the product must be priced at a price point that is affordable but is also competitive in the market as a whole. Next slide.
Through our calculations, we have identified that the startup cost of our business is approximately $6,840. This will cover the cost of our initial prototype, warehouse rent, insurance, and other forms of capital that will be required to create our product and run the business. The cost to produce one laptop unit is approximately 465 Australian dollars. We have also calculated that the total overhead cost for 1 year to be $118,716. We plan on generating revenue for our business through product sales, where a regular retail price for one laptop will be $700, meaning that for each sale there'll be a $222 surplus. Next slide.
The types of media that our customers and consumers use involve platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and more. These are the preferred platforms for our target audience. Advertising from Meta and Google can maximize audience reach and have an increased promotion of our product to the target demographic. Next slide.
Based on our research, we have identified 3 main competitors: Lenovo, Substation 33, and Apple. Next slide. We have identified many ways our business can provide unique selling points, such as a doorstep trading program, 90% plus recycled materials, and providing employment. Next slide. In the future, we hope to have traineeship programs for underprivileged Australians, student scholarships, payment plans, discounts for trade-in, and an international expansion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent work, team. Very, very great pitch. And obviously the e-waste and that side of things is a huge concern. So I'll throw to you first, Sandy. Any questions for the team?
Yes, my question, it was great. And that prototype that you have, is that a real one?
This is a laptop that we disassembled, and we got, so all of us, we had old laptops at home, as many of us do. And we got components, and as you can see, like, we haven't found every component for the laptop, but we got as much as we could.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And but this is not currently functional, so it would require more testing before we can go into product sales.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Thank you. So for all people like me, you know, I can make a difference by using technology like that, can't I?
You indeed can. So in our prototype, this is just a normal laptop chassis, but in our final product, we hope to have recycled plastic. So we'll get like a 3D printed chassis of the laptop, which is essentially the body of the laptop.
Thank you.
The
Good
body
job.
will be made through like PET.
Excellent work, team. Great work. Chris, over to you.
Love the concept, guys, and great presentation. You mentioned at the outset that most of your materials will be coming from China. Just a query, really, in terms of changing relationships, changing boundaries. Have you really thought about the implications for that should we have issues about getting things in from China, for example? Tough question, I know.
We do understand that there's many, like, there may be issues in the future, and we're looking to find many sources, but at the moment, our primary source would be wholesalers of e-waste. So they import e-waste in wholesale quantities, as these parts may be considered like as e-waste, but essentially they're new and they're able to be used by us. If there was to be issues with importing it from China, we could research other markets where it's viable.
One, for example, is like local areas. So we can like collect through there's this thing there's like a vending machine, and you can put e-waste in, and then they give you like maybe like a bit of your money depending on what type of e-waste you have.
And when we identified our competition, we named Substation 33, which is a local business based in Kingston that we personally reached out to. And in their business model, they use e-waste and create new laptops essentially and sell them to students. So they find their e-waste locally through and there's many other things like Mobile Muster, which takes old phones and they recycle the parts. So we could maybe find more sources that are local in the future.
Really comprehensive. Thanks, team. Lee.
Great presentation. You mentioned then when you're holding up the prototype that there were some components that you haven't yet sourced, and I'm just curious around if your model is primarily to sell whole laptops. Are there particular components that are harder to come by than others? And if you are looking to sell whole products, what might your strategy be to source those rarer or harder to come by components?
Through our research, we identified that the most common products we could find in e-waste is CPUs and motherboards. They're the most two common ones. With hard drives, it's more challenging to find them, but because there's so many laptops being sent to waste, nowadays there's less hard drives, and the hard drive itself is what keeps the laptop at a low price, because SSDs are a new technology, meaning that the e-waste for these are harder to come by, as the laptops with SSDs haven't gone to waste yet. And another component that's hard to find is a screen, because essentially for a screen, you can't really recycle the screen film itself. So that's why in our marketing, we've marketed it as 90% plus, because there are some components that we don't have the technology for. But when we start generating profits, we're going to section a portion of our profits to research and development to find new technologies.
Great. Thank you so much.
Super detailed, team. Really great responses to some tricky questions. So well done. You can rest easy now and breathe. Time flies when you're having fun. Judges, we're up to our last pitch. Who knew? We're heading to Curwen State High School, which is super exciting. And we have special bins. Team, how are we?
We went back slightly. Yeah, we're all right. Sorry, we've just got another person that's not in frame.
Yeah, that's okay. Squish in.
Okay. There we go.
There we go. Awesome. Cool. Well, legends, we're so excited to hear your pitch. So when you're ready, we're ready.
Yeah. You've got questions, we've got special bins.
Next slide. Pollution is a prominent global issue that has affected society and will continue to unless we make a change. According to a study by AEST, each square kilometre of Australian sea surface water is contaminated by around 4,000 pieces of tiny plastics. Everyone is impacted by pollution and everyone can help maintain it. So what's your idea? Living on the Great Barrier Reef has made us especially aware of the importance and impacts of sustainable waste disposal. Next slide. Our product, Special Bins, are bins that have been designed as local sea life to encourage people, especially children, to dispose of their waste sustainably through a positive, interactive way. Ideally, these bins would be located near bodies of water, such as Australian Council's Esplanade by the Water, where water pollution is more prevalent, in order to provide an outlet for sustainable waste disposal and lessen the distribution of waste into the environment. Although this product does not globally solve this issue, it will help reduce the amount of rubbish locally and make a long-lasting difference.
Special bins aren't just useful, they're unique, a new, innovative, feasible product that does not exist in our local community. While there are recycling solutions already in place, special bins are creatively designed to attract audiences and help children make connections between where their rubbish is going and the effect it has on sea life. This connection will stay with them as they will continue to grow.
Realistically, special bins will start off small, but with time, commitment, and resources, will expand greatly to help reduce pollution locally. These bins were prototyped from school communities, obtaining feedback for improvement to our product so we can reevaluate moving forward. Placing the bins in high schools will help educate students on pollution and its effects through a creative character. As we are starting from grassroots level, we will invest in the initial product ourselves. This includes painting the first few bins ourselves. With further support from the communities, designs will be professionally painted. While this is a non-profit organization, any profit we can make from initiatives will be put back into the creation and expansion of the product. The rubbish collected will be taken to places such as containers for change to be recycled. This can be done by local environmental school groups. As special bins grow, we will work towards the creation of new bins with the collected materials. With further support from council or other businesses, we can expand the product throughout the city.
Next slide.
In order to promote our product, we plan to partner with institutions such as the Townsville Youth Council or Port of Townsville. This would include putting QR codes on the bins that will take people to their websites when scanned. Another aspect of our marketing plan is to create social media accounts to create engagement towards special bins. An aspect of this will be characterizing the signs.
Next slide. In conclusion, our product will help encourage people to dispose of their waste sustainably, making connections to where their rubbish is going and the effects it has. This knowledge will be carried with them throughout their lives to help reduce pollution in their environment.
You've got questions, we've got special bins.
Excellent work, team. Well pitched. Also love like the visuals and the prototype. So really great work there. Our judges have joined us, and Chris, we're starting with you. Any questions?
I'm a little bit stumped for words. I'm struggling for a question here. Well done, girls. Great job.
Well done. No questions from Chris. Over to Lee.
Hello. Really wonderful pitch. And my mind is going off in about 10,000 different directions because I think that there's a lot under the surface to what is relatively simple on the surface. I think there's a lot to it. What I'm most curious about is, in your roadmap, do you have a view to potentially sell these into homes or for personal use as opposed to just public areas?
At the moment, we have no idea of putting it into houses, as it's mainly just to put it along like the Strand and stuff like that near our local areas to prevent it from going into massive places. But moving forward, we could probably look in towards placing it inside of houses and stuff.
Yeah, no worries. There's probably also a conversation to be had in the future with Chris about gamification. I think there could be some really interesting ways to slot that into your products. Really great work.
Look at the judges collaborating. Isn't that beautiful? Sandy, over to you.
That means I can get two questions. Do the bins come in different sizes, like on your visual?
Our visual was just to show the front of it and the side of it.
But it's just one size bin?
Yes, generally.
My second question, a quick one. Who does the artwork on the outside? Because it's magic. Yeah. Oh, okay. They're my two questions. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Always good to have the art in-house. Well done, team. All right. Guess what? The pressure now moves from our teams over to our judges, because there's some tough decision-making that needs to, I know, right? So we're going to boot you out of this room because we're going to send you into another room where you guys can tussle and wrestle and argue, and who knows what happens behind that door? We don't know. So we will farewell our judges and we'll see them back in a short period of time. However, excitingly, that means the people's vote is now open. So if you're watching, you have to vote for your favorite. The link is on the screen. We'll give you about 5 minutes. So get in there and vote for your favorite team, because the team with the most votes secures the opportunity for a wildcard chance into our grand final. We'll see you back really soon. Oh, just on the beat. That was great. Welcome back, everyone. So I've been told that there was, some really feisty dialogue in the judges' room. And look, we promise what happens in the judges' room stays in the judges' room. So we won't reveal, what happened behind the scenes. Who is going to be the chief spokesperson for today? Sandy. Excellent.
No.
Sandy, yeah, go Sandy, go Sandy.
No, the spokesperson is Lee and Chris.
Go Lee. Excellent.
Chris is going to do runner-up and I was going to do the winner.
Perfecto. All right. Oh, AI, man. Look how flash we are. So, yeah, that was just for you, Lee. All right, Chris. So what I'd love to know before we dig into runner-up, like revealing the team name, can you talk to me a little bit about maybe some of the conversation that happened behind the scenes? What were the things that you were wrestling with in the judges' room without revealing any team names?
Yeah, so we were wrestling with the capacity to get to market now, and some concerns about whether some of the concepts, magnificent as they were, could be overridden by large companies and taken away from them, so to speak. So we were really focused down, I think, on suggesting that these concepts were things that could actually partner with other aspects as well, which would then really give that traction in a much broader much broader environment and population, if you like.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool. Sandy, unsurprising, something to add.
And that they would also be educational.
Yes. Okay. So we're bringing in the educator flavour. All right, Chris, who is our runner-up? Going through to our grand final as a showcase team, who have you picked?
For our runner-up, we chose Lumina Dex.
Ah, well done.
Start the video.
Start.
Hello.
Hello. I think we're muted.
Congratulations, team.
No, we're not. Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations on getting through as a showcase team, runner-up from the judges. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does it feel?
Relieved, but very excited.
Awesome. We're super pumped. So excellent work, team. All right, Lee.
Oh, we wanted to award everyone. We loved all the ideas, and I think where we came down on was really looking at that blend of impact as well as implementability, as well as really feasible next steps, and also who is really well positioned in order to take their idea forward. And so we are very, very excited to announce that our pick is Special Bins.
Oh.
Wait, no.
Are you excited? I think you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're super pumped to have you pitching on stage. Hopefully we'll work with you to get you all the way down to Brisbane for the grand final, so you can be one of 8 teams pitching on stage for our national grand final this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent work. A huge thank you to our judges, Chris, Sandy, Lee. We can't do things like this without people like you. So thank you for making the time to support our young people and their ideas, and really encourage them as well. I know how tough the judging is, and really appreciate bringing your expertise and also just a little bit of love for the next generation to today's conversation. So thank you very much. Everyone watching, we've got 2 more semi-finals today, so don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, we have actually opened up registrations for our national grand final. And at last check, we were at about, the people's vote. So this is where Andrews keeps popping this up because he's like, you've forgotten something, Nick. And he is correct. And every other team watching this is like, Nick, what about the people's vote? Yes, the people's vote. Okay, I can reveal there were only a very small margin of votes between first and second place. So it went down to the wire for the people's vote. But the team that secured the most vote is Cardine's Cogna Shield. Well done. Well done, team. Congratulations. You will have to wait a little bit longer to find out if you go through to the grand final, because we pull 1 team out of the wildcard draw. However, you're in with a hot chance with the people's vote. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously had Nana voting. Well done.
Yeah.
Very good. Secure the troops, get them voting. Congratulations. Excellent. All right, team. Well, we have our first place, we have our runner-up, we have our people's vote. I actually have now done my job. We've thanked our judges. Thank you, judges. Now I can talk about the grand final. I'm just so excited. You think I'd be better rehearsed because we're up to semi-final 6. However, here we are. Grand final tickets have now opened. It's on Monday, the 20th of November. Held at the Tripit in Brisbane. However, if you're not located in Brisbane, that's cool. You can actually join us in the live stream. So jump in to grab your live stream ticket there as well. We'd love to have you backing Special Bins at the grand final, and also a host of other teams, pitching for the chance to secure the funding for their idea in the real world. Thank you so much for joining us today. We still have 2 more to go. So in about 30 minutes, we kick off semi-final number 7. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you really soon with our next 5 teams. Thank you.